Hotep, Black Power, Brother Shaka Kofa. And what I want to talk about today is, a lot of this stuff that's going on. A lot of this stuff that's going on in terms of, the situation that's happening here in the District of Columbia. I live in DC, and tomorrow I'm going to be visiting a couple of people, in the area, in which is about a mile from here, is where the bulk of the sisters were abducted and still presumed missing. But I got a few things I want to discuss that don't make no motherfucking sense to me. Now Fox 5, which is down here in DC, has given a whole bunch of bullshit, almost next to and less than zero fucking coverage, of these sisters, being missing. And now we can name the motherfucking crackers, that became household names when they became missing, like John Benet Ramsey and the other Casey Anthony case, and a couple of other cases. That became how they made sure, these crackers, the white media made sure that these names became household motherfucking names and products, even in the black community. But yet, the people don't even know the names of the sisters that are missing. And that's a goddamn shame. And and what needs to happen is that, like I explained in a video before, that the black community needs to, create their own search party and begin to start combing this motherfucking country for these motherfucking sisters. Fuck waiting on some motherfucking authorities. That it's a high possibility that if they're not involved, they know exactly what's going on. That's insane to even think like that. It's even insane to even think that the mayor, this damn lesbian mayor and the lesbian fucking commander, Muriel Bowser, doesn't know what's going on in this fucking city. Once again, like I said, this city should never even be resting until some motherfucking questions are answered, until some results, have come to the surface in terms of these sisters that are missing. Everybody then now, and for you niggas, and I call y'all niggas, for you niggas that get on here on social media, trying to place the blame on these queens, and try to label them as, that back to what I was saying. For you niggas, they try to presume that these sisters, are some types of prostitutes and hoes and sluts that run the streets, that don't have any responsibilities or just out here running recklessly. That's wrong to say some shit like that. Why don't you tell the parents of these sisters that shit? Tell the parents of these children that. And that's wrong for you black ass, these coon motherfucking media cocksucking motherfucking sluts, nigga sluts and bed wenches to even say some shit like that. Do you know how devastating that sounds to the parents of these children and the guardians of these children? For you to come out your fucking mouth like that? What about your children? They may not be missing, but are they in order? You know, are they model motherfucking citizens? Are they teenage mothers? You know, why you so focused on trying to, please this motherfucking cracker instead of putting pressure on this motherfucking cracker, and make these motherfuckers do what they supposed to do. Once again, you always get niggas that take the side of the enemy. If one of you make their clips like that, fuck you. Straight like that. So missing children shit didn't just start. Look at Rashida Rudd, and then what they tried to do, for those who don't know, it was a young girl, young queen Rashida Rudd, that came up missing from a shelter, and they presumed that the gentleman that was working in the shelter, who took a liking to the girl, taking her, making sure she was all right, because her mother was in the shelter, and her mother apparently had some substance abuse issues. So this guy, Khalil Tatum, became somewhat of a father figure to the girl. But somehow, the investigation stopped when apparently he was supposed to meet with the police to take them to where the body was at. But while he was waiting for the police to come, presumably he ended up committing suicide. And that's a whole bunch of bullshit. That's bullshit. And what I think, based on my personal investigations around the city and talking to various different people connected and related to them, it's believed that gentleman, even though, he had taken that young girl a couple of times unauthorized, supposedly unauthorized, I believe the police murdered him before he could open his mouth and tell the truth about what really took place. Because it doesn't make any sense. And I believe that the trash bags and the lime and all that shit was planted into his truck. Because it wouldn't make no sense for him to commit suicide if he said he was going to meet up with them. So that's bullshit. And then now the case is closed. So we can go all the way back to the early 70s when black women have been abducted in Washington, D.C. For one thing, number one, as far as now that organ stealing is such a high commodity right now. Melanin and melanated organs are at the top of the food chain right now. Specifically in D.C. because you have Fort Detrick where the AIDS virus was created, right in Frederick, Maryland, right outside of Washington, 20 minutes outside of Washington. Then you have NIH, National Institute of Health, where they conduct all this research on individuals. And then you have PIW, Psychiatric Institute of Washington, where they conduct research projects on, various individuals, and predominantly black males that are substance abusers and have mental health issues. I know this personally because I used to conduct groups at the Psychiatric Institute of Washington, and I've talked to people that were on the research floor, and they were in a fucking comatose state, barely could talk, something like, the movie Get Out, where they were basically mentally paralyzed, where they would not reveal any information but how much money they were getting after their 30-day stay there was up, while they conduct research on them, where they have these glass windows, glass rooms, where they inject, extremely high dosages of cocaine, heroin, speed, LSD, ecstasy, all types of drugs to combat tuberculosis, supposedly cancer, herpes, and things of that nature. And they really, some of these brothers and sisters, have popped up missing, ended up missing, ended up on the streets, ended up with, losing their minds, ended up missing limbs, and and that's just at the Psychiatric Institute of Washington. I know this personally. Another thing that these motherfucking devils, are doing, which should motivate us once again to create our own search party and our own investigative teams. Not just one team, teams in every city, every inner city, to search these motherfucking white communities and these gigantic homes where these motherfucking crackers be having these goddamn fortresses and dungeons in their motherfucking basement with chains, whips, and all types of motherfucking gadgets. Cause they do have this shit. Because no black people are not involved in this unless they have taken sides with the motherfucking government. Because the federal government has their hands all in this shit. The CDC, is all in this shit. And other federal agencies are involved in this. Like I told you in the video before, when I saw these vans pick these people up, they had federal government tags on the motherfucking vans. But I was naive at the time, and my mind and my focus was on feeding these homeless people in this park. But I still remember these vans, these black vans, these white vans with federal government tags, picking individuals up in downtown Washington, D.C. And another thing, which is a slap in the face and a spit in the face in the black community, is that they put more coverage on looking for Tom Brady's motherfucking Super Bowl jersey than they have done looking for these sisters in Washington, D.C. Now, they found Tom Brady, they found this cracker's jersey in Mexico. But if you can do all that type of shit, and find this man's motherfucking jersey in Mexico, but yet you can't find that one sister in Washington, D.C. that's missing. Once again, we need to conduct our own search teams and our own investigators. And it's a lot of you brothers and sisters that's on social media, a lot of you that claim to be lecturers and scholars and supposed to be so highly motherfucking intelligent and functioning on such a high frequency. Why don't you take that motherfucking energy, and begin an investigation? Just because you don't live in Washington, D.C. doesn't mean you can't come down to Washington, D.C. and the surrounding areas and begin to start investigating. Because if we get enough camera crews and different scholars and lecturers down here to make enough noise, some results will take place. I guarantee you that. But as long as we keep on making these fucking videos, and just talking all the motherfucking time without doing anything. Like I mentioned, tomorrow I'm going in, because I'm not going to reveal any information, about some of these people that have been abducted and their relatives, and some of the people that I personally know that I'm going to visit tomorrow and do some building and try to come up with some solutions in terms of making an all-out effort to locate these sisters. So all that bullshit, all that motherfucking talking, running your fucking mouth, using excuses like these sisters were, wild and sluttish and all that. Those are just excuses that you're using so you won't have to participate because you're too trifling, you're too much of a fucking coon, you're too fucking niggerish, you're too goddamn selfish, you think like a motherfucking slave, and you're too goddamn ignorant to stand up and stand behind these sisters, and their families. Even if they were wild or whatever, or out of control, even if some of them were like that, they don't deserve to be abducted. Because if that was the case, nobody would be, on social media. We all would be fucking abducted. If we were judged based on that. Because everybody has done something abnormal at least once or twice in their life. So that's just so I don't want to call you sisters out your motherfucking name, bad as I want to, because that's how pissed I am at some of you fucking niggas, and you're gonna always get the social media niggas that's gonna say something to put these people down, but just act like it was your fucking daughter, it was your sister, or your mother that has been abducted. And somebody comes on social media and says that your mother was a slut that deserved to get abducted, that put herself in harm's way. How in the fuck would you feel? So how dare you have the motherfucking nerve to come out your motherfucking mouth like that? So, and to Tom Brady and any New England Patriots fans, y'all can kiss my motherfucking ass. Fuck y'all. Because y'all, once again, the focus is on these motherfucking crackers again. And these local channels in Washington, D.C., these crackers never been shit. Like I've said in so many videos, that the news is just lies and motherfucking blues. They spent more time this morning talking about a goddamn panda bear that took a shit at the zoo than these sisters being missing. And something needs to be done about that. Like I said, tomorrow, I will be out in the communities. A couple of miles from my home is where the bulk of the abductions have taken place. And I will be talking to some individuals, talking to some folks, and see if we can, come up with some answers, come up and develop some type of search party, some type of, not a neighborhood watch, but something 100 times more intense than a neighborhood watch. We need a cracker watch for real. Cause them the motherfucking ones that are doing it. Y'all can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but I know for certain it's these motherfucking crackers. It's the CDC. Look at for example, if David Rockefeller, if that dead bitch, if that devil was still alive, and he decided that he wanted another motherfucking heart to live another 5 or 10 years. Do you think they will hesitate in abducting one of our people to give this motherfucker a heart? So, that says a lot within itself. These FEMA camps, all these military bases have turned into FEMA detention camps. And the reason they have turned into detention camps, they're fully staffed right now, even though they're empty with prisoners. They may have abducted people there, but I'm talking about prisoners. And the reason why it's fully staffed and right now why it's empty, because they are waiting on a racial insurrection to take place, and they'll have room to apprehend and incarcerate and exterminate millions of people of color. If you don't believe me, get a list on Google, a list of the FEMA detention camps, internment camps, and they'll give you a list. In every motherfucking state, there is at least one FEMA detention camp. So, it's time for some changes. Because let me tell you this: the cracker wants to start a motherfucking war. Donald Trump wants to get it on, but you niggas are too goddamn scared. You talk that black power shit. You raise your fists up. You have 6-foot arcs around your goddamn neck. You'll talk all this goddamn shit. You'll take pictures with goddamn machetes and goddamn AKs and choppers and all that shit. But I haven't yet to see one of you motherfuckers put in any type of work. But you'll go on social media and slay everybody that looks like you. Talking about you're the king. The king of what? A motherfucking system that's under federal goddamn surveillance. Like YouTube, Facebook. All this shit is surveillance. And some of you that talk all this goddamn black power shit and all this revolution shit. When they decide to come get, I know half of you motherfuckers are going to run, or you're going to tell. If you're in any type of organization, you're going to tell who the leader is and all that. Most of you motherfuckers are going to do that. Soon as these FEMA motherfucking guards kick your goddamn door off the hinges, and they come in there with them goddamn AR-15s and lay your ass down, make you piss on yourself, you're going to tell it all. As soon as they take you down into one of the ATF detention center, like they got a federal detention center they just built in D.C., take you down there in the basement and start water hoarding your motherfucking ass, you're going to tell every goddamn thing. You even tell them what the ingredients that your mother put in her goddamn cakes. Weak ass motherfuckers. I'm really upset at the fact that, instead of us coming together, we're sitting here dissecting and slandering these missing girls. You know how this cracker is. Probably have them chained up, with no clothes on, having dogs and shit, fucking them, humping them, taking pictures, piercing their nipples and all this shit with fish hooks. All that type of shit that they do. And some of them will cutting them open while they still alive, putting Novocaine all over their body so they be numb, but they still be living, cutting them open, taking their goddamn organs and shit out. The cracker is devious like that. Why you think they make them movies depicting all that bullshit? They don't do that shit for nothing. Them movies come from a motherfucking idea or an event that has already taken place. Or current goddamn activities. You motherfuckers, man, I'm telling you, man, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to stand up? What do we have to do? What does the cracker have to do to make us fight this motherfucker back? I mean, really. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for these goddamn babies and these sisters, because they can reproduce. They have the ability to wipe this goddamn crack out, to annihilate his goddamn existence. And that's why they're feminizing these boys. As long as your ass is a fucking faggot, you switching, or you a lesbian and you sitting around, being a fucking carpet muncher, eating other girls' asses and all that bullshit. They love that shit. They make movies about it. They pay you millions of dollars to engage in that type of shit. But if you a motherfucking alpha male, you heterosexual, you know what I'm saying? You strong, you're conscious. You are public enemy number motherfucking one, man. And it just have to be like that. You know, it's just that simple. You know, and you know, and honor to the Creator, honor to the ancestors. You know, honor to my sister, our Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul. You know, my father, my great grandfathers, all my ancestors that were in the slave trade, my mother and father-in-law, all my comrades, you know, that fell short behind enemy lines, all my brothers that are in these concentration camps called prison. You know, I give all of you honors. You know, because right now I have the spirit. I have got a lot of different energies going through me right now. You know, and it's time for some changes. It's time for some changes. You know, I'll be with y'all tomorrow, and we're gonna be live. We're gonna be out there in the areas, you know, talking to various individuals, like I mentioned before. And until then, Black Power.